One of the things that intrigued me most about writing this particular story was that the same thing that was happening in India in 1937 with the protagonist is what's happening everywhere in Europe in 1937. So in India, what's going on is that there is a huge quit India movement from the part of the Indians. Please, British, get out. You've been here for over 200 years. You have overstayed your welcome. We'd like to run the country by ourselves, say the Indians. And so there's a lot of underground movements trying to see how they can oust the British. But at the same time, our protagonist, Sona, is traveling to Europe. And the reason she's traveling there is because the painter who has been her patient has died mysteriously, and now Sona is being blamed for the death. It is a tragedy. Nobody expected a 29-year-old woman to die so suddenly in a hospital, especially when she was showing signs of improvement. But the nurse, somebody has to be the scapegoat, and the nurse is blamed. But she is given, at the time of the painter's death, 4 paintings that the painter had left for her with a cryptic note. And the note very much seems to say that the nurse needs to distribute these paintings throughout the painter's friends in Europe, in Prague, in Florence, in Paris, and in London. And so the nurse goes on this quest, and she has to make sure that this happens because she very much admired the painter, very much admired the painter's joie de vivre and, her very bold outlook on life. And so this is something that the nurse is compelled to do. She has to travel through Europe at a time when Europe also is experiencing a lot of underground rebellion against the fascists and the Nazis. There are all kinds of resistance movements everywhere. And I found this completely fascinating. I did not know this was something I was going to find when I started researching this book, that there were going to be so many similarities in what was happening in India and what was happening in Europe in 1937.